Well, hello there. Welcome back to the Getting Dirty Off-Road channel. This video, got some more of this black Ford. You know, it may never end, but I'm going to try to shorten up the videos, so there'll probably be a lot more of them as we try to figure out what we're doing here. Now, like always, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this go round, we're going to do a fuel pump. It's out, it's on the engine stand. It's a lot easier to do it now. This one was working, but, you know, doesn't cost all that much. Throw a new one on there, shouldn't have to worry about it again. So, we'll get going on that. I need you to let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what direction to go. Criticize me. Give me ideas. How was the music? You know, trying to make this comfortable. So any input is great. Follow us on that Insta chat thing, you know, whatever it is. My kid's running that one, but the main goal, give you some shorter videos, probably some helpful, some not. It's just random stuff I'm doing here. I might as well document it, throw it out there. Maybe I can help somebody out. Anyways, let's get this fuel pump done. Okay, so right here's a fuel pump. The engine's most of the way upside down, so it might be confusing, but this is going to be pretty easy to do like this. Like I said, it's on the stand. It can be moved wherever I want. So right now we're going to do this because in the truck it's a little bit harder to do. The first thing I noticed here, this is the oil pressure sending unit, and it's kind of turned just a little bit in the way. So I'm going to grab something and get it turned. So now I'm going to come back here onto this big chunk that goes into the side of the block, because we turn on that, it'll turn a little bit. You come out here grabbing on this sending unit and such, you're going to break it. It's going to pop right off of there, and then you'll be adding another part to your list. So that should clear us. I got it back. It's all the way back against the head and the block there. But looking down the body of this fuel pump, that should do us. Now, another good reason I'm doing it out here is, you know, maybe you could get a wobbly socket in there and do it while it's in the truck. But this deep socket ain't gonna cut it. Let me check a short socket real quick. Yeah, we might be able to get it with the short socket. You don't want to come out too far though, your socket will get stuck against the body there. So we'll just take them loose and then see if we can get them with our weak little fingertips. Okay, so there's one of them. Just throw that on the table where we get confused later what we need and where it's supposed to go, and then all of a sudden we'll try to put this back on and realize that's where it belongs. Now with that other one out of the way, we can actually walk this one all the way out with our socket, because the pump is kind of coming out with it. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. Yep, I have to put it back in there a little bit so I can get my socket out of there, because the socket is stuck against the body, which is preventing it from coming straight up the bolt. There we go. Wasn't paying attention. Too busy talking to you fellas. Okay, just like that. And we'll pull this out of there. And that's that. So it's much easier getting it off out here since it's already out. We're just going to throw a new one on there. Hopefully not have to mess with it again. Well, as far as this fuel pump goes, I started thinking too much, and well, you know, I've been working on, I don't know, 2 or 3 different videos all at the same time. So I figured at this point maybe I should kind of say what's going on here. Instead of putting the fuel pump on, I'm worried about the head gaskets, so I'm popping the heads off. Decided I better look at the cylinder walls. If it needs to go to the machine shop, I don't want to take the brand new fuel pump back off. Let's just do it once. So I've kind of been in the process of spinning it around in circles for my amusement, and well, I'm going to get to looking at the cylinder walls and decide whether or not we're going to the machine shop. So, as far as the fuel pump right now, we're holding off for a minute. Okay, so I think I've gone as far into this engine as I'm going to. I'm to a point where things look and feel like it's going to be okay. So I've got some things coming for everything over here, you know, over there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go with this fuel pump. This timing chain is, it makes me wonder, but I think I can be satisfied with what I see. So the fuel pump goes onto the front of the camshaft. That's what operates it, you know, so it'd be in the way of changing this timing chain. Chain has some slack in it, but for right now, I think it's going to be okay. So to finish up this fuel pump, we're going to clean this gasket off, which may be fairly simple. Maybe it won't. This one came off just fine. Oh wait, there's another one stuck behind it. I might be missing something, but why would you have 2 gaskets there? Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll do our thing. Somebody else can do theirs. So let's get this one off from there. Boy, it's pretty soft too, so you know, I cleaned this before I would touch it, but I would say maybe this guy, this whole situation right here was leaking oil as well. So maybe that'll come around to a little bit of a better situation. So, got the most of it. Don't really want to gouge this up. It's aluminum. the housing that it mounts to, so we don't want to gouge, geez, I can't even talk today. Gouge up this aluminum, so just got a little bit of a razor blade scraper here. I don't know. I've never really been able to do these too well, but we'll use this one to peel some excess things off. So now if you guys have been following along, you know I didn't really pay much of anything for this truck, to be honest. And it didn't really want to run. And it had the freeze plugs pushed out of the block and so on and so on. The only reason I'm doing this fuel pump is because in the truck, you're fairly close to the frame. You have to take the power steering pump off, and then it's not a very comfortable thing to do. It can be done, but I was bringing it out of the truck for the freeze plug operation anyway, so I decided, even though the fuel pump was working and it probably would go on for I don't know how much longer, I figured with it over here, sure would be a lot simpler to deal with. So that's why I'm doing it. But finish getting this cleaned up, get the new one put on here. I think I'm only going to use one gasket. Even though there is two in the box, I don't understand why that is. So I'm just going to put one on and go with it. So we'll come back to that effort here shortly. So on this fuel pump mounting surface, I've already hit her with this clean them up. And you got to be careful. This is an aluminum surface on this engine, so just a quick little knock the gasket off from there. Now I've got it turned. I'm gonna throw some hand wash. I want to get those holes, bolt holes, really good. So I've got it turned so that all the extra flows down out, not over into the housing. Get those bolt holes cleaned really good, and then we don't have any junk in there when we go to tighten down the bolts. One more time. Just because. So, now we have a nice clean surface. I'm still having this personal debate whether or not I should take this cover off and look at the timing chain, or just put her together. Okay, so with this fuel pump, got me a fresh tube of gasket maker. I like to call it gasket glue because I'm not really trying to make a gasket, even though I have, but I like to just put a nice thin layer on that surface. And like most things, I want to do it on the part that I'm putting onto the block engine system. So I'll put it on this surface here. I don't want to take it, well, let's take it out of the plastic. So I'll put me a little gasket glue on there. Now I don't know why it comes with 2 gaskets, and there was 2 gaskets on there, but one should be plenty. But then anywho's, I will stick the gasket to the pump. Then that way, if it needs replaced again, the majority of your material is going to come off with your part. Then you don't have to fight cleaning on your surface while it's inside of your rig. It's a lot easier to just wipe that surface off and then do what you need to do with your part. So, again, I'm not going to use 2 gaskets. I don't know why they come that way. Directions? Well, there's a picture on there. So anyways, that's my plan. A little bit of gasket glue. Put the part on. Friendly Napa store. And then we shall move on from there. Well, I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and put this fuel pump on there. So I got a little gasket glue here. I decided to use the black because, well, I found an open tube, so might as well. So we don't want to get it too thick. We're just trying to glue the gasket to it, not make a gasket. So now we'll just put our gasket on there, and this will help it stick in place so we can line the bolts up. And then, like I said, if it has to come off again, the gasket will be glued to the fuel pump and not the housing. So, bring it in here. Now this arm rides on the back side of I don't know, it's kind of a circular looking deal, but it's offset with the camshaft, so when it comes around it'll push down on the pump, run the diaphragm inside, bring the fuel in. So now, since I'm at a point where it's easy, I'll just turn this engine until that ring cams its way to the upward, so it's easy to line up the pump here. Now, if you're doing this inside of your truck, it might not be as easy, but since I made it easy to spin the crankshaft, we'll make it easy to install the pump. Now here's one of my favorite things about buying parts, aftermarkets, even if they're OEM replacements, whatever. These are the bolts that we're holding the other pump on, and they're not going to go in this one. So how convenient is that, especially if you're needing to get this done that's inside your vehicle? I mean, somebody's going to have a full-blown come apart over that kind of thing. So let's try this again. Luckily, I did have some bolts. Well, still not going to work. Let me see if I have something shorter. Dang it. All right, third time the charm. Probably not. Maybe. She's kind of tight on this inside bolt. You know, a thing a guy could do, especially in the rig, is take out this Hootis right here that runs to your oil pressure sending unit and maybe get a little extra room. I would just end up fighting with it myself. And then I would be stuck wondering why I make bad choices. And again, there was nothing wrong with the fuel pump that came off from it, that I could tell anyways. But I figured, we're doing it, let's just put a new one on there and then it's done. Now I went ahead and just did the one gasket. I guess I'll find out if that comes back to haunt me later. So we'll just go tight here, take it easy on the gooden. That housing's aluminum, so we definitely don't want to pull the threads out of that, or it's going to be a new housing. And that's not really in the budget. So that's it for the new fuel pump while we're on the stand here. It's easier to do. Got plenty more to do, as you can see, but I think that's going to do it on this video. So thanks for watching. I surely appreciate it. If you could, hit that like, subscribe, bells, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Follow along somewhere. It's up here on the top. Previous video down here on the bottom. I don't know what it'll be, but it's gonna be there. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope you all have a good day.